Listen to this. Asha made a profit of 18,000 from a trade. She spent 1/3 of the profit on food and 2/5 of the remainder on bills and fuels. She saved the rest. How much money did she save? So you saw this given lady made a profit of 18,000. And then out of that 18,000, which is the profit, she spent 1/3 on food, 2/5 of the remainder on bills and fuels, and they saved the rest. So the question is asking how much she saved. So here you start by working out the amount which was spent on food. Okay, so you are told is 1/3. 1/3 of the total amount of money that she had as profit, which is 18,000. So you say 1/3 times 18,000. Okay, so we calculate. We get here. She spent 6,000. This one was on food. Okay, we move on. Let us check what remained after she spent 6,000 on food. So you say 18,000 minus 6,000. This is 12,000. 12,000 is what you are told the remainder. So 12,000 is the remainder. So this is the remainder. So you are told that she spent 2/5 of the remainder on bills and the fuels. So 12,000 is the remainder, and she spent 2/5 of it on bills and fuel. So you say 2/5 times 12,000, like that. By 1 by 5, 2, 4, like that. So how much was spent on fuel and bills? You say 2400 times 2, which is 4,800. This was spent on what? On fuel and bills. Okay, that one was spent on fuel and the bills. So you ask yourself what remained after he spent on fuel and the bills. So you say 12,000. The remainder now, which was saved, you will say 12,000 minus 4,800. Okay, so your answer here becomes 7,200, and that is the answer. So you have started by multiplying 1/3 times 18,000, which was the amount of money which was there. Okay, so you got 6,000, and you are told that was on food. Okay, you ask yourself what remained after you spent on food. You say 18,000, which is the total amount of money, minus 6,000. You get 12,000. Now 12,000 is the remainder, where you are told 2/5 of that remainder 12,000 was spent on fuel and bills. So you say 2/5 times 12,000, you get 4,800. Okay, now 4,800 was spent on fuel and bills. So what remained, you are going to say 12,000 minus 4,800, you get 72. And this 72 is what was saved, because you are told he saved the rest. Now this is the rest. Okay, so let us move on to our next question for today. That was KCPE 2017 question 43. Let us move on to our next question. KCPE 2009 question 7, which says Maloba deposited 80,000 in a financial institution that is paid simple interest. At the end of 3 years, this money had amounted to 9,200. What rate per annum was the simple interest awarded? So here, this is simple interest, whereby you have principal, and I told you that principal is the amount borrowed from a bank or the amount of money deposited in a bank. So principal is 8,000. And you are given time is 3 years. Amount you are also given is 9,200. Interest you are not given, and the rate you are also not given. Okay, but we can work out. The moment you are given amount and you are given principal, you can calculate interest, because you know that interest earned is calculated by you can get interest by saying amount minus principal. Amount minus principal gives you interest. Okay, so we can get interest. You say 9200 minus 8000. You are going to get interest was 1200. That is the interest earned. Okay, so having interest and you have principal and you have time, you can calculate rate, because you know that interest is calculated by multiplying principal times rate over 100 times time. Okay, already you have principal, you have interest, and you have time. So you are just remaining with rate. You come and say the interest that you have gotten 1200 you say is equals to principal, which is 80,000, times rate over 100 times time, 3 years. Okay, we can simplify 0 0. Okay, so you have 80 times 3, you get, this is 240 what r, which is rate, is equals to 1200, is equals to 1200. Okay, we can move on. We move on. You divide both sides by 240. Divide both sides by 240, like that. When you divide, you are going to get your rate as 5%. You are going to get rate. Interest was given at the rate of 5%. So you just need to follow the formulas. You just need to follow the formulas. If you know what you are doing, you can work out that question very, very simple. When you know the principal, you have time, you have amount, you have interest. When you are not given interest and you are given principal and amount, you can calculate interest by saying interest is amount minus principal. So that is how we work out that question. Make sure you follow my channel, you subscribe, so that every time I post a video, you can be updated. So let us keep revising for the exam so that we are updated on what the exam requires. Have a good day.